What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Pro Source Pod. My name's Eric. We got Nick here. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not baseball is getting better or worse from a fan's perspective. Now, there have been efforts and rule changes put forth by the MLB to try to speed the game up, make it more of an enjoyable experience to watch for fans. Today, we're going to talk about whether or not that's actually true and dive a little bit deeper into the numbers to support whether or not that's true or something. Nick's got the numbers pulled up on his
That's
lap.
that's a lot of words. All right, essentially, it's basically I'm going to ask Eric if he thinks it's better or worse, if the game's trending in a good direction or a bad direction. Not necessarily viewership and all that, like looking for the actual product, and then from there, like say if he thinks it's better or worse for the sport. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think that the product itself is getting better or worse? And with that, do you think it's growing the game or not?
So, there's two different ways to look at this. There's through my lens as someone who has been watching baseball and who's been around baseball my whole life. And then there's through the lens of just like the average sports fan who maybe doesn't really watch baseball, who's not familiar with baseball as much. What? Are you going to tell me I'm wrong? So
You're getting really technical.
I get it.
I
I
would
get
just
it.
be yourself.
But it is. It's not.
Eric
It's not even a
doesn't-
fact.
Eric
It's
doesn't
not even a
even
fact
watch
of. It's
sports.
not even a fact of being myself. It's just a fact.
So, do you know what's going on? You know what's going on? I'm far away. You know what's going on with sports or not? Like with baseball, you have an idea of how the game's trending, right?
Yeah.
What do a lot of guys do now?
Hit home run. Strike dudes out.
Other than that, it's usually what, a strikeout or what?
A walk. Walks are going up.
You're giving me like every answer I didn't want. What do pitchers do now more than ever?
Strike guys out.
What do pitchers do now more than ever? It's right in your face. Like it's really not something you've wanted your whole life.
Throw hard.
Yeah, they throw harder than ever. Right. Guys just hit home runs now. Right. More than like I don't even know if it's more than ever than the steroid era. They're still not hitting more than the steroid era. I'm pretty sure. I have to go look at that. But just give me your take. Is the game getting better? Is the product getting better? Is it getting worse? And is it good for the game or is it bad for the game?
I think overall the product's getting better.
You fully believe that?
I think the product's getting better.
Now, give me some examples of why you think the product's getting better.
Well, people like to see guys throw hard. People like to see guys hit home runs, make flashy plays, do all of the cool shit. Right? I think the game itself is more underappreciated because they're taking away the shifts, they're taking away, they're instilling all these rule changes.
They didn't really take away the shift though.
Well, people still do it, but it's like they took it away, and like you don't see as much technical small ball like actual baseball being played. Like it's a lot
So
of.
you think it's good that they've taken baseball out of baseball? That's the take you just gave. You said it's good that that stuff is gone.
Well, I think it's. I mean, that's what like they're trying to get people to
What
watch
do you think
baseball.
about it?
They're
What do you
trying to get more people to watch baseball.
Do you think it's working?
From that, I don't know the numbers behind this. I'm gonna guess. No, I'm gonna
You
guess.
don't know
that.
anything. Like, what do you really think? You think the product? If you think the product's getting better, then you would think that the viewership and everything else is getting better. They kind of go hand in hand, like in your thought process. You're saying the product's getting better, right?
Yeah.
And you think it's getting better because people throw hard.
And do more flashy.
Do you think people really want to see that?
Yeah.
So people want to see home run or strikeout.
Well, not necessarily like cut and dry.
That's
like
what
home
you
run or
said.
strikeout.
Essentially, it's taken out
Well, there's more
the
than just home
nuances of
runs
the
there.
sport. People can't feel the position anymore. You kind of just have like blocks in positions they shouldn't be because there's no hurt in
Left field.
There's like no hurt if you put someone who can't feel in a certain spot because
Left field.
you're getting a bat to hit a home run. You're just trading it all.
Dive into the numbers.
You gotta like give me some more. You just want me to talk about numbers. Like, do you think the base? Where do you think baseball is ranking in terms of revenue?
Definitely behind football and basketball.
Really?
Yeah, I was right.
Like worldwide, we're not talking U.S. What do you think? What do you think they rank if you had to put them all sports? There's cricket, there's soccer.
Well, I know those two are at the top. Great.
Which one? In terms of revenue or viewership?
Both.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know football is like football, not American football. Soccer's, I think that's number one.
Where's the other stuff?
Cricket might be, I think cricket's right below it.
Where do you think American football is? So where are you ranking baseball?
I'm going to say it's soccer, cricket, basketball, American football. There's like another weird sport in there, I think, that people watch. I don't think baseball's in the top five.
Couldn't be more wrong.
Really?
Number one is soccer.
Okay.
50 billion in revenue a year.
Makes sense.
Number two is American football.
Really?
17 billion. And number three is baseball at 10.7 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. It's technically in revenue is higher than like revenue, like the money, right? It's ahead of basketball, which basketball is 8 billion. So like the numbers are going to update everything. There's like new contracts going out to the NBA and stuff like that.
I
So it's gonna get
really
you
missed
see
the
that coming.
boat.
You
I
see that
swung
coming.
and missed.
Yeah, you did pretty badly.
Pretty
All right.
badly.
So what do you think in terms of attendance, though? Like actually going to the games. Like, do you think people are going to more games than ever, or do you think less people are going?
Probably more.
So what do you think ranks among all sports?
In attendance, probably like fifth or sixth.
Definitely the bottom. Average attendance, number one is the NFL. Average attendance is 66,000.
Per game.
Premier
Well,
League,
the stadiums hold more people.
Premier League, 38,000. La Liga, that's its own league of football. 26,000. And then the NBA, 17,000.
Where's baseball?
For their rank.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Now, here's the good stuff. World Series ratings. So you were saying you think the product's getting better and that people are behind this. Now, are you for or against the rule changes and the stupid stuff with pitch clock and all that stuff? Do you think that's
stuff I'm
helping
against.
baseball?
That's stuff I'm against.
Do you think that in any way, shape, or form helps baseball?
No.
Even if it speeds up the game?
No.
Why?
I don't really think it makes that much of a difference.
No, it doesn't really make that much of a difference in time. And so why was the MLB trying to do that? To speed up the game? Because they thought, it would bring viewership.
Yeah.
Why would that bring in viewership? Because you're either a baseball person or you're not.
Because people who, a lot of people who don't watch baseball.
But they're not going to watch baseball because you sped it up a couple
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is, people who don't watch baseball, it's like, oh, why don't you watch baseball? Well, it moves too slow.
No, exactly, but it didn't really move anything up.
Yeah, that's what I'm
it
saying.
Just pissed off the people who actually play the fan base.
Yes.
So, you're pissing off people in the fan base who want, baseball. Because that's who's watching. Baseball people are watching baseball. It's not going to grow because you sped it up 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Instead of a 7:05 game, now you start at 6:45. It's stupid. 25 minutes earlier, I guess. I guess if it was a little faster, so you started earlier. You're not getting people from that because they're not baseball people to begin with. They're not going to watch it because it's 25 minutes, faster. It doesn't work that way. So they're going after the wrong niche essentially because it's not going to get people to watch. NBA people who are diehard NBA people or diehard football people aren't going to start tuning in because it's a little bit faster. An NFL game goes on forever. People watch it because it's once a week, even though it's not once a week. But that's not why they're watching it. It's not about how long it is. An NBA game takes a while too because there's a lot of commercials and then there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's the actual product itself. I'll give my take in a second. But do you think last World Series was was good or bad in terms of viewership and the ratings in the last 50 years? Going back 50 years, where do you think it ranks? Like one being the highest rated and being the lowest rated. What do you think it was?
One being the highest, 50 being the lowest.
Yep. In terms of ratings for the World Series.
The World Series last year.
Yep.
I want to say it's at the top. I want to say that.
I don't care what you say. Just do you think it was closer to being one of the highest rated or one just give me a number.
19.
It was dead last.
Are you serious?
50th. The 50th ranked and lowest viewership. Only 9 million people watched this last one.
Why do you think that is?
Because they're pissing off their audience, which is an older demographic of people who actually care about baseball. So there's a bunch of rule changes and nonsense going in, and the game's not pleasing the people anymore who actually care about it, the fan base. Because it's a home run or a strikeout. It's a guy throwing 100, and it's a guy throwing a no-hitter getting taken out in the 7th inning because he's at 100 pitches. Stuff like that, where it's as far as 2011, Roy Halladay, every game was in the middle of going 130 pitches.
Yeah.
You knew that was going to happen. That doesn't happen anymore. Paul Skeens has had multiple no-hitters going into 7 innings. Taking out 99 pitches. What's the point of that? It's not that's stupid. And then but there's the weird thing where people don't even care anymore. The players whatever. Some of them care, some of them don't. But dude, you don't see people pitch complete games. You don't see that stuff anymore. It's people throw harder, cool. But people also aren't as good as they used to be. I mean, so it's do I want to see a bunch of strikeouts or a walker? That's not that enjoyable visually. Where not saying I'm a big small ball guy, but you get a couple singles, you get a walk, and then you get a double and another double, and there's chaos going on. It's people don't really feel well anymore. There's not really any cool plays you're talking about because everyone's shifted in the exact spot they have to be in. The only people really making diamond plays I feel are outfielders. And not even as much as they used to. It's because everyone has the scouting report to a team moved exactly where they need to be. There's a lot of balls that hit over second base. You're oh, that's a base hit. That was ripped. It's oh, it was literally right to the fielder. He didn't have to move. And things get ruled to hit. People don't hit the baseball anymore. And part of it is, people throw harder and they have nasty stuff. But it's also, on the other end, pitchers don't even pitch anymore. DeGrom hasn't pitched in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's hard to tune into something like that where it's not as enjoyable to watch. It's not anyone can really it's not really baseball anymore. Because the only thing they promote really, home runs. Oh, that ball was hit far. And it's you look at who's on the baseball field. It's all mega athletes that don't even play anymore because they're all hurt.
Everyone gets hurt.
Everyone's hurt for a long period of time. Yeah. Everyone's getting Tommy John. Everyone has a hamstring thing. Everyone's hurt. And it's just cinder block people who are just mega athletes going out there to play baseball, but they're not refined in the actual skill of baseball.
Yeah.
I haven't seen successful bunts in baseball. From watching a Phillies game or just a random game, they'll go to bunt. They can't get bunts because no one has no one's practiced. Yeah. So it's I get why it keeps going down. So 2022, that was ranked 48. 11.
I'm curious, what's number one?
Number one, 1978. 44 million viewers.
Oh God, that's such a steep drop.
Mm-hmm. And even as far back as everything from early 2000s almost nothing ranks in the top 25. So it's people say baseball's dying, it kind of is because the game's getting worse, the product's getting worse, and people are oh, I think the product's getting better. Just because you throw it hard doesn't mean the product's getting better. Just because you hit the ball far doesn't mean the product's getting better. It's such a rare thing to see someone hit 300 nowadays. It's there's a million advanced stats and everything, but it's no one gives a shit about it. It doesn't make any sense. It's not baseball. Baseball is not FIP plus, where you technically had a good start if you give up 7 runs, but if it was like singles, it doesn't count against you. Like what?
Like no hard hit balls.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like he's not good.
I get what
Stop
you're
trying to
saying.
defend Nick
Yeah.
Pivetta. Like he's not good.
Yeah.
Because there's
He let up
pitchers.
11 hits.
So there's like pitchers that get defended by like stupid stats now, and like it's like, dude, like look at what's going on. Like he's not very good. Doesn't throw strikes. Like there's one stat specifically. I don't know what it is exactly, but like if you walk a guy, it doesn't go against you. Like the only thing that goes against you is doubles and extra base hits. Like extra base hits go against you, like home runs and stuff.
Yeah,
like
there's a
that.
stat. It might be FIP, where it factors in luck to a pitcher's
Yeah, they have
success.
things where it factors in.
Like shouldn't be a hit.
It factors in
a hit.
ballparks.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous. Like, let's just see who's good and see who's bad. They're either good or they're bad. Like, there's no reason to start defending people and try to say someone's good. It's a whole thing. Like, it's just annoying. So it's like average viewership, and like even in the '90s, like that's when the Yankees were winning 28 million, and then all the way to 2004, 25 million. And then that's when the decline started. It was 17 million, 15 million, 17. It didn't get back to 20 million viewership until 2016. 22 million in 2016, 18 and 17, 2018, 14 million, 2019, 13 million, and then 2020, 9 million, and then 11, 11, 9. So, like, that's drastic
yeah,
loss of viewership. But money's going up because obviously there's a lot of factors. There's inflation, there's TV deals, like there's just money everywhere for these sports. But it's like at some point, if the people don't want to watch, it's just going to go away. So it's like respect the fan base because they're what's going to pay for it anyway. If no one wants to watch, then there's no money to be had. So it's like
I just don't understand. They try to fix something that wasn't really broken.
no, it's a beautiful sport if it's like actually played like, and it's part of it is what's going on in like the world travel ball and stuff like that.
That's where it stems from.
Yeah, and like this is going to be like our next episode. So like, is Little League a thing anymore, or is it dead?
Yeah,
So it's like
I don't want to go too deep
I
into that, but
I personally don't think that the game's in a good place. I think it's a bad product, and especially like all people do is how hard can I hit a ball. It's not anything about mindset. Like, oh, I have 2 strikes, I have to actually put the ball in play. No one hits behind runners. Like things that make baseball baseball, and what's so great about it, it's like it's being taken away.
yeah,
And it's also it's more so on players' behalf too. Like man on second base, no outs. I have to get that guy over as a hitter, right? I don't want to strike out. It's not home run or strikeout or double or strikeout, right? Like it's okay. I have 2 strikes. I have to do something to get this guy to the next base. So I have to hit behind him, right? Like I have to hit it second base side if I'm right-handed hitter, right? That's going to advance him. Even a ball to first base is going to advance him. If I hit pull side because I'm trying to hit it as far as I possibly can, he's not going anywhere.
that's 100% true.
That's not talked about.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And it's like, well, that's just what's being taught now.
Yeah.
From a young age.
And it's like arm injuries are up more than ever, but that's its own. We'll talk about that later. But like on the pitching side of things, it's like go and throw as hard as you can, for as long as you can. Cool. Like there's a lot of different ways to do things. Like you could be smart. If you're a smart pitcher, you can expose batters regardless of how hard or what you do. So it's like, okay, like I throw hard, but I'm not just gonna try throwing like high in the zone or here or whatever. Like this guy clearly has tendencies to do this. Let me feed into that and make him like roll over on him. Like roll over or soft contact the other way. Like there's a lot of different things that like a pitcher could do to like expose a hitter, but it's like it's just let me try to overpower him, and that's all it is. It's like, wow, didn't get him there, home run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like for me, pitchers, it's not so much pitchers, it's more like on the hitting side, where baseball is like going into a decline.
I would say, dude, it might be more pitchers.
You think it's more
It's
pitchers.
toxic. It's fucking toxic.
It really is just go throw as hard as you can.
Yeah. It is. Like,
Yeah.
think of like me going through, and this kind of started being a thing maybe like our junior or senior year of high school where like you start to see all the weighted balls and
The velo
stuff.
monsters,
The
yeah.
velo monsters, dude. The velo monsters.
It's on both ends of the spectrum, though.
It is, and like I don't know as much about the hitting side of things, but it's like, dude, that's all that's taught now. Is throw hard, just throw hard,
And you get it though, like you really do.
because it's like
You need to throw hard.
you have to
You
throw
don't even
hard,
get sniffed at or looked at if you don't throw hard enough. You have to meet a criteria.
but it's just a thing that like everyone wants to play Major League Baseball. Like everyone who plays baseball who's serious about it, like wants to get into the pros. And it's like, okay, how do you do that as a pitcher? Well, you have to throw hard. You have to get your foot
Dude,
in the door.
do you remember, it used to be like, we were in the wave of like, because I know on our team we had multiple guys that could throw 90.
Yeah.
Like, that was like unheard of. And that was only like, it was 18 or 17.
18.
We graduated 18. There was a ton of dudes that were throwing in the 90s. There was like, okay, like if you're like a dude in the 90s, like you're like eligible. You know what I mean? Like now it's like if you're in high school and you're not even throwing like 95, you're probably not sniffing the draft. But if you're throwing 95 in high school, you have a chance to get drafted.
If you're a 90 to 92 guy in high school, you probably won't get drafted.
No, you probably get one like maybe like the East.
Yeah. That's
Or
wild.
Yeah.
That is wild to think about.
Yeah.
It's toxic.
It really is. Like 90 doesn't mean anything anymore.
90 is like the new 85.
And it's like I'm not going to discount people throwing 90, but it's also like I said something to one of the coaches, and he was like, yeah, when he throws it for, like, yeah, everyone throws 90, they throw it for like 3 pitches. It's like, no one really throws 90.
Yeah.
Like if you look at averages, and that's why calculating your averages as a pitcher and all that stuff is important. We'll talk about that separate. How to monitor that stuff, but it's like you just throw 93 one time, and then you really throw like 85, 86. Like that doesn't mean anything. Cool, you talk. Everyone talk about their top
It looks
speed.
cool on
Yeah.
your PBR profile.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but that's like,
Have fun not playing.
yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, people throw 90 now more than ever, but people don't actually throw 90. They throw like 84.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll throw 90, they'll have a couple 91s, and then the next inning, they're at like 82.
They did. Quite a bit.
Bad. Like a
Quite
lot
a
of
bit,
guys
yeah.
did bad in high school now. Even like, I don't know, college, they did that much in college, or you guys?
There was like, no, all the kids that I played with in college that threw hard, like threw hard.
Yeah.
Like they threw hard. I would say like, yeah,
Starters or relievers.
Starters and relievers, because it's like the relievers that I played with that were in the 90s, they would be 90 to 93 for the 2 or 3 innings that they would go in. Like closers, same thing. And then like I only played with like 3 or 4 starters that actually threw in the 90s. The one kid, he's in Double A for the Reds that I was telling you about, my roommate. Like it was actually the opposite with him. He would start the game out like 88, 89, 90, and start throwing harder as it went on. And like that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally you want to be your top speed the whole time, but it's like
that's fucking good for him.
Yeah. He's in Double A.
So hold on, back to the whole topic, right? Is it bad? Like, is the pitching side the worst part, or is it just like a combination of the whole thing?
I would say it's a combination of both. It's like because like going back to my original not my original take.
It's not even special to throw 103.
Yeah, it's not. It's like
everyone throws 100 plus.
Yeah, but it's just what's being taught from a young age.
Yeah,
like it really is.
Ross Chapman still hasn't been hurt.
Yeah,
a lot of the other flamethrowers
they all get hurt.
Yeah,
they all get hurt at some point. It's like it's almost a matter of when now.
Chapman quite literally is the only person to never. But if you look at Chapman's mechanics and the way he threw when he came in, he's evolved, and what he does now is completely different.
He's also been put on 20 pounds.
He's like super sit on the back leg and like fired like he's got some he's a 10.
Yeah.
But it's like no one talks about that. I don't get why teams. He must be like a headache because I don't know why more teams don't go after him in the offseason. Like he throws 103, and he's still really good.
He's really good.
Yeah, like
him and Paul Skeens are on the same team.
It's just. You got anything else to add?
No, dude, I think we covered it all.
My take: the game's going in the wrong direction. There should be more about catering to the actual fan base instead of trying to get viewership from places that are going to.
And it clearly hasn't.
It's not working. It's not working at all. And the game's getting worse for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us know what you guys think. Leave comments. Hey, share this around. If you guys want to see any topics talked about, leave a comment, reach out to us. We'll be happy to give you guys some more stuff you want. Anyway,
Catch you on the next one. Peace.